Get the weather anytime you want, any time of the day with the First Alert Weather app.
All right, let's talk more Braves. It's been a slow start to the season. We've seen it. They came back from the West Coast, and they did not have a win with them when they came back.
Well, they played some very good teams.
They did.
I mean, they played the Padres,
yeah,
who I think are still undefeated. They played the Dodgers, who are 8-0,
right,
with Shohei Ohtani breaking our hearts the other night with that walk-off home run. And that was a game it looked like the Braves were going to win it.
Exactly.
And then, of course, Ohtani spoiled it for us. But let's go to Bailey Burmaster and Connor Hines with more on tonight's matchup.
Welcome into Truist Park. The Braves home opener is finally here. Connor Hines, Bailey Burmaster. We are going to have all the content for you today leading up to first pitch at 7:15 against the Miami Marlins. Let's talk about the home opener and the extra energy this day packs. It is always a fun time.
Always a fun time. Maybe not as much as it was in years past, Bailey. I don't think you could dream up a worse start for the Braves. Obviously, they have not won a game yet. They're last in just about every statistical category in the majors, so that's going to dull things a little bit. But come on, this is Braves. This is Braves baseball at the end of the day. You know the fans are going to be packing Truist Park, and it's going to be exciting either way.
Hopefully the fans bring the energy and they're able to get some bats going. Along with that, you know, when it comes to the home opener and it comes to this Braves lineup, if there's any team that I truly do think it can turn around, you just need 1 or 2, 3 guys to get hot to change this all around. It will be Spencer Schwallenbach on the mound. Let's talk about Spencer because he's been electric not only through spring training, but in his first outing. I expect much more of the same.
Yeah, if there's one bright spot for the Braves so far, it's the starting rotation. Schwellenbach is definitely a big part of that. I think he deserves to get this opening day nod, or at least Truist Park opening day nod. And we saw him excel really, you know, throughout the spring in terms of mixing up his, you know, pitch selection and working in a couple new things as well. I think he's deserving of this spot, and he's going to give Atlanta as good of a chance as anybody does.
So when it comes to pitching, there has been some news on that front. Ronaldo Lopez will get a scope next week to see how bad that inflammation is. The Braves are hopeful he will return, but we are unsure. We will have to see for an update. So they did bring in Bryce Elder. He is who started in that Game 3 against the Dodgers. We'll see how the rotation pans out as the season goes on. But there was a lot of news this week and not favorable news for the Braves. Let's start with Jurickson Profar. He suspended 80 games for PEDs. That means he also will not be available for a postseason. Just what kind of blow is that for this team this early on?
I mean, let's face it, he was the only major offseason acquisition for the Braves. Obviously, it's a huge blow, especially considering what he did last year with San Diego and the sort of resurgence that he had. This was going to be a guy who was going to be hitting in the leadoff spot a lot of the time for Atlanta. Obviously, it's a huge blow. He will be back, like you said, for the second half of the season. Postseason, not so much. This brings Alex Verdugo into the conversation, an outfielder that we were kind of asking why are the Braves signing this guy? Maybe they knew something we didn't. Alex Verdugo is in Gwinnett. Only a matter of time probably before he figures into the fold for the Braves now that Jurickson Profar is sidelined.
Definitely add some depth between the guys in the outfield with Michael Harris, Jared Kelenic, and Brian De La Cruz, so we'll see how they fare. Going off of that, let's get to some good news that might be hopeful for Braves fans. A lot of good news coming from Lawrenceville with the Gwinnett Stripers. Catcher Sean Murphy having a rehab assignment. Hit a 2-run bomb in his first outing. Spencer Strider is scheduled for his second rehab start with the Stripers today. That will be in Lawrenceville, so we'll see how he fares. But even in his outing, there's a lot to like. These are some positive pieces. If you get them back in the mix, they can give this team a little bit of a boost.
Oh my gosh, no choice but to have positives right now, right? You need a guy like Spencer Strider back on your team. Again, Ronald Acuna still working his way back as well. So it's not all negative for the Braves. As painful as it is, Braves fans, you just got to be patient right now because it is a long season. And let's not forget, it's just 7 games. Yes, it's been a really bad start, but a lot to look forward to still, and I think Spencer Strider is right at the top of that list.
The Miami Marlins coming to town for this one. What do you expect from this matchup?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to hope that the Braves can cash in. This is the latter part of the Marlins starting rotation. And the Braves have been really good against Miami historically. Bailey, Marcelo Ozuna batting a career average .409 against Miami. You got to look to him and a bevy of others. The Braves have had the Marlins number, you know, over the past few years. Obviously, it's a different start to this year for Atlanta struggling the way they have. But you got to like Atlanta's chances, especially facing those number 3, 4, and 5 starters in the Marlins rotation. This is a good rotation for the Marlins. It's probably better than a lot of rotations that Miami's had previously. But again, I like Atlanta's chances to get a series win.
The Braves still the only winless team in MLB. They are looking for that first win of the season. Let's not forget what happened last year in the home opener. Travis d'Arnaud smacked one to left to score a run and walk it off. I almost want to believe the last 2 games might have been walk-offs that were home openers.
Yeah, you might be right.
So let's hope that this one is maybe an early win, no extras, and the Braves are able to get in the win column. But we'll have all your latest on Atlanta News First. For Connor Hines, I'm Bailey Burmaster. We'll throw it back to you in studio.
All right, well, it sounds good, guys. Listen, they have to give us the reality check. They're the sports guys.
That's right.
They're going to, set the scene. But we are still so excited, and it's a reminder for you that you can join Bailey tonight at 6:30 on PeachtreeTV for Live from the Chop. She's going to be joined by Paul Bird, Peter Moylan, and Charlie Culberson. You need somebody who's going to walk you through, set the stage.
Bailey can do that.
Bailey can do that like none other. And when the game is over, Bailey and the crew are going to go back to the Chop, and that is all going to be on Peachtree TV, your home this season for Braves on Gray.
Good stuff.